Welcome to Business Connection. I'm Liz Spencer. We have a real treat in store for you. We have Steve Schnall. He's a professional musician and educator.
Yes.
And stay tuned for the whole interview because at the end he's going to play us a little something on his saxophone. And I've already had a sneak peek. It's awesome.
Thank you.
Tell me a little bit about your life in music. You have just a wonderful career.
Sure. I began taking drum lessons when I was 4 years old.
I think we all want to start with the drums.
I know, of course. On a Muppet Show drum set. And I played drums for about 6 years. Then I moved to the clarinet. And then when I was in high school, I moved to the saxophone. And I stuck with that ever since. And then after that, gradually moved on to adding other woodwinds. Now I play 12 different instruments. So it's been quite a long ride. And then as far as my career, I graduated in Ohio. I moved to Chicago about 20 years ago. And that was after working on a cruise ship. So I was a music director on a cruise ship. That was fun.
I bet.
Yeah, we got to travel all over the world doing that. And then, here being in Chicago, get to perform with all these musical luminaries is something. I mean, it's a dream come true. So
that's wonderful. You are a dream come true when we think about music and thinking about careers. How to get that love to work, because we all hear the thing that you want to find something you really want to do because you're going to spend a lot of time doing it. So,
most definitely.
So, and now you're teaching.
Now I'm teaching.
And what a wonderful gift to give to your students, someone with such a wide range of experience.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about your students.
Sure. There are a wide range of students, all ages, all levels, all abilities.
So you got somebody who, like me, a complete novice, all the way up to someone that's maybe, thinking career-wise, or maybe plays with the municipal band or something.
Yeah, and in fact, my most advanced student right now is actually in college and who is a clarinet major, but I'm still teaching her clarinet lessons. So
even though you play the saxophone, but you play 12 others, so you can instruct all the woodwinds.
Yes, yeah, I teach saxophone, clarinet, flute, piano, but yeah, I play 12 other instruments. So or 12 instruments in total. So.
Wow. And how do you prepare your students? I mean, when you're teaching them, are they going for a solo, or maybe they're trying it out for an ensemble? How does that all work? I bet you have that's a great thing. Yeah,
it really depends on each different student. I like to divide my lessons into threes. Basically, the first part working on scales and technique, and then the next part working on whether it be solos for solo and competition, or working on marching band music. And then the last proponent is I always have them do listening, because I feel that listening can also it's also way important, and it can inspire a student big time. Almost as much as just pressing keys. Hearing a professional instrumentalist, playing could give them, a myriad of ideas. So
I think that's awesome. So would you advise, parents often, I think everybody's had some lessons because mom and dad thinks that's a good idea.
Sure.
And but I think we often turn it over to the schools when we get into marching band and that. But would you advise supplementing their band?
I would definitely advise supplementing the band, especially with the bands these days. They're only meeting 3 to 4 times a week for only about an hour at a time. Definitely, if students want to, look to doing music as a career, they're going to definitely need more time, practicing and studying with someone one-on-one. So.
Right. Well, I think personal instruction is just so important in these types of things.
Most definitely.
Because we can pick up some bad habits.
Oh, yes.
And form fails, and then we're in a whole mess of hurt.
That's right. That is correct.
Tell me a little bit about, now you're putting out a CD too, which I think is super cool.
Yes, yeah, it's going to be my debut CD. It's called Pieces of Me, and it's going to feature 8 of some of the top studio musicians in town. Wish I could tell you all their names, but it's still kind of hush-hush.
That's okay.
Yeah, it's going to be great. We're going to be recording in the next couple months, and it's going to feature all different types of music, classical, jazz, some rock on it, a little bit of everything.
How does all this experience that you have from, performing, professionally, and now recording a CD, how does that all come to help you teach your students better?
I think it gives me a better idea of where a musician comes from, where they need to be, what they need to work on. Not necessarily just on the notes per se, but also, there's a whole music business aspect of it as well that they need to work on, because they have to learn to be able to promote themselves, just like I'm doing today.
Right.
So.
Well, and I bet that you give parents a lot of comfort in the sense that when we all worry that, when our son or daughter say, hey, I want to be a musician, we always think, just much like they say, hey, my son or daughter wants to be on TV, we all worry, go, oh my gosh, how are you going to make a living?
Right.
And when you can give such a good example of of how you do that,
Sure.
That's awesome.
Yes, definitely. I think that definitely helps. That I've been fairly successful, in the business, and I'm able to, explain that to parents, especially newer parents, that it is definitely possible for them to succeed. So.
Well, and the neat thing, and then I'm going to let you play us out a little bit.
Okay.
That whether you want to do it professionally or if you just want to learn something, music just gives so much to life.
It does, definitely, and it is a wonderful thing, and it calms me. Every time I pick up the instrument, it's like the whole world disappears. It's a wonderful thing. It's awesome. I love it.
That's awesome. Well, Steve, give us a little sample, and I want to say, thank you for sharing what you do here.
Sure, my pleasure.
And if anybody's thinking about lessons, you are definitely the guy.
Yes, definitely. Like I said, saxophone, flute, clarinet, and piano.
That's great. It puts it all together. So,
yes.
Can you tell us a little bit what you're going to play?
Yeah, I'm going to play the end of this little piece of music. It's just called Caprice, and it's by Eugene Botza.
Wow.
So this will be fairly quick.
Okay.
So.
Outstanding, outstanding. You can definitely see all the skill coming together right there. A gifted musician.
Thank you.
Steve, thanks for joining us on Business Connection. We're going to be right back.